So then, let's start with the Fiesta and practicality. And as you can probably tell, it's not exactly the biggest Super Mini here in the back.
Yeah, looking at you now, I can see that you do look quite cramped.
It's a little bit silly. It's a bit snug back here, yeah,
Just
it is.
a bit.
And one of the reasons is you've got this sloping roof line, so it feels a bit cramped inside. There's not that much knee room, and the doors, the rear doors, they don't open particularly wide. So
yeah.
It's also got a bit of a problem with its boots. Now, the boots on all these cars, roughly the same size, 280 litres, but the Fiestas, as you can see, if you fold the chairs down, the rear seats, you've got this big ridge there.
Tell me why that's a problem, Matt.
Okay.
The glove box is a little bit on the small side.
Okay, so really what we're saying then is that the Fiesta, it's not the most practical Super Mini.
No, let's see what the Rio's like.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the Rio. So, what's it like?
Well, do you know what, actually, for a Super Mini, I've got loads of room. Obviously, I'd rather be sat in the driver's seat, but if I had to, I'd be fine back here.
Wouldn't we all? Cubbies are really good as well. There's a really large glove box.
Yeah, would you be able to fit a whole bunch of bananas in there?
Maybe two.
Now, the boot, it's actually a good size, but look at this. It's got a big lip, and I know you don't like those, do you?
No, these really bother me. If you're lifting something heavy into the boot, you can easily do your back in if the lip is this big. Plus, the seats, they don't fall flat, just like in the Fiesta.
No, it's a bit annoying. But on the Polo, you don't have that problem, and I'll show you why now.
Sounds good.
Now, if you look in there, Rebecca, you'll see flat low bay, and the reason is that we've got the seat squabs that fold out. Also, on some of the Polos, you get this false floor, so it raises up the boot floor, and look, no boot lip.
Yes, I like that. Plus, if you sit in the back, you can get quite comfortable. There's pretty much the same amount of room as in the Kia.
Yeah, it's a very spacious car for such a small thing, and the cubbies are good as well. The cubbies are as good as on the Kia too.
Yeah, so all in all, Matt, practicality-wise, the Polo's the best.
Yep.
Followed by the Kia.
Yep.
And the Fiesta's last.
That's right. At this end of the market though, value for money is even more important than practicality. And here, there is one winner, the Kia Rio. And the Kia isn't just the best value either. According to the 2013 Driver Power Owner Satisfaction Survey, it's the more reliable car of the trio too.
Thing is, the Fiesta is a nicer car to sit in with its more modern interior and soft touch dash.
It's only narrowly beaten by the Polo, which is the poshest of the three cars here.
And the suspension's smooth as well. It absorbs the lumps and bumps in the road very well.
Yeah, it is. It's very comfortable. But what about fun?
Well, that's where it's lacking. It could do with a little bit more of that. And when you go around the corners, there's quite a lot of roll.
So it's not a particularly fun car to drive. Do you know what? The first thing I noticed when I come out of the Polo and into this car is that the suspension does feel noticeably a little bit firmer. To be fair, this car is actually riding on massive 17-inch alloys, which is a little bit extreme really for a Super Mini, and that doesn't help the ride. Another thing that I kind of like about this car is that it's dead easy to drive. The controls are light, again, like the Polo, but one problem I do have is that these A-pillars and the rear windscreen, you know, that's quite small. I don't think the visibility is as good in this, so it's going to be a little bit harder to park or, you know, negotiate through traffic.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's close, but overall the Kia isn't quite as good to drive as the Polo. But how does the Fiesta compare?
Personally, I reckon the Fiesta, out of the three cars, is the best to drive, but what do you reckon?
Well, you would be right, because it's definitely the most agile, the most fun, and it's got a really sporty seating position. It makes you want to be a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It does handles really well, doesn't it? Yet, it still rides brilliantly as well, so you can go over bumps, you don't notice them. In fact, I reckon the ride quality on this car can shame some much bigger cars.
The engines are great too. The 1 litre EcoBoost that's fitted to this car feels like a little hot hatch, and it returns over 60 miles to the gallon.
I know, it's 3-cylinder, makes a nice little thrum. Actually, it's pretty punchy as well. So it's small, but it's fun. And another thing that I like about the Fiesta as well is that generally you have got pretty good all-round visibility. Though if I'm going to complain about something, the back window is quite small. It's not as bad as on the Kia, but I don't think overall the visibility is quite as good as on the Polo.
Come on, Matt, stop being boring. Small cars should be fun. They should also be cheeky.
What, like me? Well, Rebecca, if it's cheeky you want, then the Fiesta is the best looking car here.
The Kia is still pretty striking though, and so is the Polo despite its more conservative design. But yes, I like the look of the Fiesta best as well.
Right then, Rebecca, we've come to the point where we really need to rank these cars in order of our preference. So,
for me, the Kia has to be third. Although it offers great value, it lacks the polish that the other two have.
you know what, you're absolutely right. It's just not quite as posh, is it, as the Polo. And I think that's a great car if you're downsizing from a bigger vehicle. But it just lacks that certain something, doesn't it?
Yes, fun.
Fun, that's right.
Which means our winner is the Ford Fiesta. It's got a great choice of engines, brilliant handling, and its cheeky looks make it the best super mini you can buy.
Do you know what, Rebecca? I could not have said that better myself.
So why didn't you, Matt?
It's your line, that's why.
You always like to have a last
word.
word.
No, you do.